Welcome to this introduction to some of the common winter waterfowl of Ottawa County, Michigan. If you can brave the cold and snow of winter, Ottawa County is a great place to look for waterfowl. In this video, I'll be highlighting some of the most common wintertime waterfowl species that you can encounter, especially along the lakeshore of Lake Michigan. Common goldeneye are one of the most numerous species that congregate along our lakeshore in winter. This waterfowl species is named for its golden eye. Both male on the left and female on the right have the yellow-colored eye. Males also have a dark-colored head that, when in the sunlight, reflects a very pretty green color. It also has an egg-shaped white marking in front of the eye. Its back is black with some streaking coming off of it, and its breast and sides are very white. The female has a brownish red head and a very gray body, but note the white streaking that goes down along the flanks of the female. The female also has some yellow on its bill. Sometimes you can encounter this species in very large numbers of hundreds and even thousands of birds along our lakeshore. When you run into a flock like this, it's always a good idea to make sure that there isn't a Barrow's goldeneye mixed in with them. This rare species from the west sometimes joins flocks of common goldeneye in Lake Michigan waters. If you would like to try your hand at finding a Barrow's goldeneye amongst commons, there's a video linked in the description to help you do that. Good luck! Next on the list are two species of Merganser. First, red-breasted Merganser, and second, common Merganser. I recorded a video in March of 2020 describing the difference of these two species. Take a look. I'm currently looking at a flock of over 100 Mergansers out here on Maplewood Lake. There are over 80 red-breasted Mergansers and at least 14 common Mergansers. You may want to know, how do you tell them apart? Well, first of all, the males. Common Merganser has a solid green, really dark green head, and it sometimes looks black. The body is white. They are also larger than the male red-breasted Mergansers, which also have a dark green head, but the feathers on the back of the head kind of stick out like he's got a bad hairdo. He also has a rusty red breast on the front and more dark colors along the flanks. The females are much more similar to each other. The common Merganser female is gray in the body with a red head. A little bit of flare on the feathers on the back of the head, but look for the white chin patch. The female red-breasted Merganser, on the other hand, is a little smaller, although still has a gray body and a rusty red head. It has more flare on the back of the head with the feathers and does not have that white chin patch. These male red-breasted Mergansers are in courtship display competition, vying for the attention of this obviously distressed female. Courtship occurs during migration, but these birds won't nest until they reach areas further north in Michigan. White-winged scoters are usually relatively hard to find, but can be found in small numbers with other flocks of waterfowl. The males are all black with orange on their bill, white around their eye, and white on their sides, which is actually the secondaries of their wing. Females appear lighter in color and have the same white on the wing, but they also have two white, and sometimes hard to see, spots on their head. Juveniles look like females except for the fact that they lack the white spots on the head. Long-tailed ducks are perhaps our most elegant and beautiful winter waterfowl here in Ottawa County. Males have striking black and white patterns and a long, pointed black tail. You'll also notice the pink on the bill. Females and juveniles are brown or gray in color with variable amounts of white markings on their face. These striking birds are always a treat to see up close. They're a treat to see up close because most often they are far out on Lake Michigan, forming large flocks in winter. They often can be seen far out from land in large flocks swarming at the horizon. As ice forms on Lake Michigan, they sometimes move inland and come closer to our harbors for closer views. Now enjoy this short segment of video of them diving on Lake Michigan. The full video and a video of the male up close can both be found in the description. Bufflehead are often found in small flocks on Lake Michigan and on some inland lakes. Males are striking with their white body, black back, and a head that has white on the back and black at the front. Females are gray with a black head and a white dash through the side of the head. It's fun to watch these birds as they dive for food and pop back up out of the water. The redhead is certainly a showstopper, with its red head, bluish-gray bill with a black and white tip, gray body, black breast, and black tail. It certainly deserves our attention. The females are much less stunning, just being a mottled brown color, with a little bit of a darker cap on the head and still with that blue-gray bill with black and white tip. Redheads are often found in large numbers and usually mixed with greater and lesser Scaup. Last on our list for this video are both greater and lesser Scaup. This can be quite a conundrum for any birder to tell the difference between them. Let's give it a shot. Greater Scaup are more common on our coastal areas of Ottawa County in winter. However, lesser Scaup are definitely here. So how do you tell them apart? First of all, let's look at the males on the bottom. The greater Scaup has more of a greenish sheen to its head, although that is variable depending on the sunlight. Lesser Scaup generally have a purplish sheen. Perhaps most important of all to tell these two apart is actually the shape of the head, and this is true for both male and female Scaup. Notice how the greater Scaup is more bullheaded, with a curve from back to front on the back of the head, whereas lesser Scaup have more of a straight up and down back to the head that has a little bit of a peak at its colic. That peak can sometimes be hard to see depending on if the birds are diving, but a keen eye can find it. Other than head shape, females can be very difficult to distinguish and often are left as a question mark. It can be a fun challenge to identify Scaup in winter if you're up to it. Can you tell which is the greater and which is the lesser in this video? I'll even freeze frame it for a little help. The bird on the left is the lesser, and the bird on the right is the greater. Again, notice the head shape differences. Now it's time for some practice. Do you think you can identify all of the waterfowl that are found in this photo? Did you get them all? There's long-tailed duck, greater Scaup, common Goldeneye, and wait, what's that guy up front? Trick question. It was a king eider, a very rare visitor to Michigan. But you never know what you're going to find when you go out looking for waterfowl in winter. For another challenge, wait till the very end of this video and you'll be given an opportunity to sort through this winter waterfowl flock. So now I'm going to give you a few tips and some places to go where you can find waterfowl in winter here in Ottawa County. The best places to check are along Lake Michigan at its different harbors and lakes. And if it's been very, very cold and everything is freezing over, find that open water, because that's where the ducks concentrate. Also note that late winter tends to be better for migrating waterfowl, which means you get a higher diversity of birds. Now, here are some specific places to check in Ottawa County. First of all, Holland and Lake Macatawa. Some good publicly accessible locations include, from east to west, Dunton Park, Collin Park on the south side of Lake Macatawa, Stu Visser Trails, which is not on Lake Macatawa but includes some good trails through wetland habitat, and, last but not least, Holland State Park and the Ottawa County Park's Black Lake Boardwalk at the west end of Lake Macatawa, where it empties into Lake Michigan. This is perhaps the best spot, especially when everything else is frozen up. There tends to be open water where the ducks congregate. And if you're lucky, you might find something rare like this harlequin duck that spent the winter in 2018 and 2019. The Port Sheldon and Pigeon Lake area is also very good to check. Viewing waterfowl on Pigeon Lake can be done either at the DNR boat launch or at the boat launch on the south side of Pigeon Lake. The Port Sheldon Channel area and Lake Michigan are only publicly accessible on the north side through the Campbell Power Plant entrance just south of Winds Nest Park. It is open from April 15 through October 15. The south side is only accessed with special permission, which Ottawa County Parks has been given for our winter waterfowl field trips, typically in February. Beautiful views can be had from Winds Nest Park or the Bubblers. If you climb to the top of the dune with your scope and look out, you can see where the upwellings from the power plant attract waterfowl. 2 times in the past several years, a Barrow's Goldeneye has been found in this area. Last, the Grand Haven Channel tends to be a very good place to look for waterfowl. Locations to check in Grand Haven include Harbor Island, the Marina area, and, of course, Grand Haven State Park. You can view the channel from either the north side or the south side. And be aware that changing wind and weather conditions can change the conditions of open water in any of these channels. And as always, be on the lookout for rarities like this common eider that showed up at this location in 2014. If you're interested in seeing waterfowl but want some help to do it, sign up for our winter waterfowl field trip this winter. I hope you've enjoyed the presentation today, and I hope that you get out and go see some winter waterfowl here in Ottawa County. For more information on birding in Ottawa County and some links to videos and other resources, check out our website at miottawa.org/birding. Now stick around and see if you can find any of the birds you learned about in the presentation as you sort through this wintertime waterfowl flock. Good luck and happy birding!